Hey everyone, BJ McDowell here. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about my service experience, specifically today. I don't want to reflect on the past experiences at this time. So, with that said, let's just go ahead and talk all about it. I get my 2019 Ford Raptor serviced in the Richmond area because I am from the Richmond area. I currently live 90 miles north of Richmond, so when it just so happens to be convenient, or one of the days that I'm coming down to pick up or visit with my daughter, I'll schedule an appointment. So I called Monday, scheduled the appointment for Wednesday. I had my daughter with me. Oftentimes I do when I go to get an oil change and tire rotation, which occurs about every 5,000 miles. When it's warm out, we'll go walk around, look at trucks, cars, whatever. Anyways, we walk in. The guy asks me who I am. It's like, damn, I've been coming here for like 10 years or more. I tell him my name, my appointment. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, just leave your keys. So then I go into letting them know, hey, when you rotate the tires, can you be sure to adjust them accordingly? And initial response is, well, yeah, sure, I'll just have the guy read the what's on the door, recommendation. Well, no, I don't want that. If you could, please take 1 pound of air out of the front tires and add 2 to the rear, prior to rotation, so that after rotating them there would be +2 in the front and -1 in the rear. You guys get the idea. Anyways, he writes it down, he repeats it to me. I'm like, cool, awesome, great, we'll be here an hour and 35 or 40 minutes later. After we've walked around, had a snack, all those good things, of course. Truck's ready. Great. Didn't even have to pay, first of all, so that's pretty cool. With the Ford Pass, you can acquire points or whatever it is. I don't know how many points it takes. I just know that I just used my second free oil and tire rotation, or the Works package. I've got one more remaining. All good, all ready to go. The tech had just walked in, service writer. He looks at me as I walk up and says, what did you want the tire pressure set at? And I just gave him that blank look, like, are you serious? We talked about it enough to where I was getting kind of uncomfortable, thinking to myself, okay, I've probably overdone what I want for my tire pressure here. It's not really a matter of pounds, it's just adding or removing a certain amount of pounds, because it's, if the temperatures fluctuate, it can be 50 degrees one day or 35 the next. And so I'm just asking to subtract 1, add 2. Don't give me numbers. Plus, I came in here hot off the highway, which I also explained. So it's not going to be very easy to just start telling me what the pressures are, because that's right now. I was under the impression that mechanics knew all this stuff, and given the fact that I've got a Ford Performance vehicle, I would be getting some guy that is aware of how to handle these things. Not at all. There's enough backstory on why I would get upset or frustrated at this dealer in the service department. But I explained to them, hey, look, that's how far away I live. I drive here to get an oil change and tire rotation. And I subject myself to this all the time with you guys. The only difference is you're all new. So suddenly this other gentleman steps up and comes out of nowhere. And he says, well, what would you like it to be? And at this point, it's, I don't know. All I know is it's at 38 now. That's what the technician, he said, I put them all at 38. Like, the recommendation inside the door. Nice. Not the recommendation from the owner that specifically requested and was written on the service sheet by the service person, provider, not the technic, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so I'm standing there like, I don't know, just put 40 pounds in the front, or 41 in the front and 39 in the rear. Yeah, usually that's gonna probably pull it up to 43, 44 on the highway. At these temperatures, it's 48 degrees right now. I've got my 6-year-old daughter, which I promised, hey, as soon as we get done, Daddy will take you to Chick-fil-A. Well, after about an hour and 10 minutes of waiting, somebody wants to go to Chick-fil-A. There's a vanilla milkshake there and chicken nuggets. So I'm sure a lot of you out there have been in these situations where it's not about me to begin with. So let's get this done. So they take it back, put more air in the tires, and so as they're doing that, I'm looking at my Ford Pass app, and I see that they never reset the oil life. Well, that's what it's showing. Now, I wasn't entirely sure because I was, kind of paying attention to my daughter more so than that. I just happened to glance. So anyways, when all said and done, they brought the truck back. I just said thanks and left. Got in the truck, didn't even move 5 feet. Checked the gauge cluster there. No, it was I don't know, 48 or 49%, whatever it dropped down since Monday. So yeah, didn't even reset that. So then it's like, okay, did the guy change the oil? So of course, when things aren't going the way they are or should be, you start to question other things, right? So we drive off, go to Chick-fil-A. Tire pressures, they're not right. Got more pressure in the rear than I do in the front. Finally, we get to the destination to drop my daughter off. So if you read between those lines, you know where I'm at. And I open my door, get out, and I see a greasy, oily smudge on my armrest. Oh, that's awesome. And my eyes fall down to the kick plate where it says Ford Performance. Oh, that's nice. Nice greasy boot mark there towards the outer rail. When you open up the door there on the body of the truck, is just a nice greasy oil smudge from a lazy bootleg. Not to mention the nice spot on my Ford Raptor floor mat, just a spot of greasiness. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not in any way making any jabs of any type towards anybody that gets greasy or dirty. Not at all. But when you're working around and with vehicles, some of which can cost $75,000 or around there, there's no expectation that I have when I take my truck to the Ford dealer for service that I'm going to get it back dirtier than when I brought it. No, it doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening? This is not the first time, but we're only talking about this time right now. So it's just, it's exhausting because if this doesn't happen, you're lucky. And you won't get very far, or it won't last very long before something like this seems to always happen. And it just ruins, it's not like that's an experience to even remember, but it just ruins it. It just adds another piece or reason to why you hate doing it, And probably the best thing that happens is me taking my daughter, because at least she can keep me distracted, occupied from what's really going on. Someone's manhandling the shit out of my truck. It's like, I don't do that. I don't get it dirty like that. Why should you? So, after I drop my daughter off, I decided to make a phone call. So I called I don't know if he's the service writer manager or whatever his position is there. So he actually put into the computer, hey, do this when this guy shows up as far as tire pressure. Pay attention to what he's saying. And he responded that way because of previous feedback. They have my phone number, so they send me text messages throughout the service experience. But then they send me text messages afterwards, or email, I don't know, whichever. And I railed them on the tire pressure last time. And I said, look, I'm not asking or expecting anything more than what you're offering. We'll see what happens in 5,000 miles. Hopefully there's some improvement. I'll raise concerns like I did today. It'll get better, but before I notice, it's kind of like one of those things where you kind of forget about it because it's the way it should be. All of a sudden, it comes back around. Most of the time, it's people cycle out. They're off to something else. So the accountability is then it's gone. So we'll see. I'd like to believe there's changes coming. What is that? Fiat 500? Buick? Who cares? Anyways, hey, good talk. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.